Once upon a time, there was a man, and his name was Anthony Rendon. He played baseball for a living as his job, something that little kids dream of doing from the second they watch baseball. Heck, it's something that adults dream of doing, but they couldn't achieve it, and that's why we have the professionals, to be the best of the best. Playing not just for themselves, but also playing for the fans that watch the sport that they love. Fans dedicate hours of their day to watching all kinds of sports, and it's the player's job to deliver. In the United States, professional athletes get paid boatloads of money. I mean, it's an industry that pays so much for so many different reasons. But the number one reason is because of the fans. Fans watch on TV, or they go to the game. They also end up buying merchandise from all sorts of players on their favorite team. Fans are the reason that players make so much money. I mean, it's that plain and simple, but it's the player's job to stay dedicated, playing the sport that they love at an extreme level. MLB GMs build the team using money given to them by the ownership, and the ownership gets that money from the fans. Without fans, this business is nothing. So this money ends up going to players who are supposed to make this team better, from winning more or just playing a certain role in general, doing something. Whether it's taking on a leadership role in the clubhouse or hitting 60 home runs to winning a Cy Young, just benefiting the team in the entire job. That's what you are being paid to do as a player. This is a story about a player who plays in the major leagues as we speak, but he also hates baseball. Anthony Rendon. He played a very long time with the Nationals. His time with the Nationals was his very best time, and in 2019, they even went on a World Series run, an improbable run for a team that just wasn't supposed to be good. They were below 500 after 60 games were already played, but eventually, they got through all of this adversity, and they couldn't have done it without Anthony Rendon, but this was unfortunately his last year with the team. He went on to be signed with the Los Angeles Angels on a huge contract, and the Angels expected to have another superstar to pair with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Now, unfortunately for them, he has not been anything close to a superstar. He's been below average. No, he's just been bad. He's been injured. We haven't seen much of him over the last 4 years. He's combined for 720 at-bats in 4 seasons, and I think it's pretty clear he has not been able to stay healthy, and fans across baseball call this the worst contract in sports. But you ask yourself, okay, he sucks, and he has the injury bug, but what makes him so atrocious? Well, strap in your seatbelt and get ready, because Anthony Rendon is a clown, quite plain and simple. In 2014, Anthony Rendon had his big breakout year, but he unfortunately was robbed of an MLB All-Star invite. The media ended up asking how he felt about this, and his response was simply, "We have a long season ahead." So pretty much Rendon wanted that vacation, and I could understand wanting a vacation from your job, and I'm sure it's nice. But it didn't end there. He also went out and said, "I never really watched the MLB All-Star game as a kid," and okay, fair enough, but then he went on and said that he just doesn't watch baseball in general because it's too long and boring. The sport that has made you millions of dollars, more than multiple different bloodlines combined, that sport is too long and boring? What great player from any major sport thinks that their sport is boring? I understand that it does turn into a job after a while, but if you don't have that love for the game in your heart, why are you playing? And he also told the media that he has a special rule for whenever he's with his family. When he's visiting them, they are not allowed to talk about baseball at all. Now, look, I understand, wanting to keep your job out of your family life, but then again, that's what you do on a day-to-day basis. I'm sure that that's a major way to make conversation. I mean, this is your family. This is what you do every day. Isn't that something important to you? Something that you love doing? I love talking about content creation with fans, YouTubers, and even my family, and if I didn't love talking about it, I sure as hell would not be doing it. Fast forwarding, we haven't heard much of an opinion from Anthony Rendon on baseball for quite a while, but after he got into the Angels, he didn't make any positive impacts, and he was obviously facing criticism as a player often does. I mean, that's kind of how life works. If I make a bad video or I say a bad line, people call me out, and same goes for a baseball player. If you're playing bad, you're gonna get called out, except this time, it was by an opposing fan. The fan was saying disrespectful names to Anthony Rendon, and he began to get frustrated, pulling the fan's shirt and throwing a little swat at the fan. Was it appropriate of the fan to call him names? No, but that happens when you're a famous athlete like Rendon, and whenever you're playing bad. This obviously resulted in him being suspended for a total of 4 MLB games, and he was fined money, and that's what happens whenever you're not doing your job properly. You get words thrown at you, and that's just how it is. Usually, the best players go ahead and take that as constructive criticism, and then they attempt to rise again, becoming a better player than they were the time before that. Not Rendon. In fact, he hasn't done anything since this incident happened back in the beginning of 2023. He, of course, missed most of the season with an injury, as he usually does. Now, I will give it to Anthony Rendon. He's been really quiet with the media. Yeah, well, he ruined that just now. He went out and he stupidly decided to speak with the media, where he said a lot of stupid stuff, as he usually does. He was asked if there was one thing he could change in MLB, what would it be? Rendon replied, "We've got to shorten the season, man. There are too many dang games. 162 games and 185 days or whatever it is. Man, no, we gotta shorten this bad boy up." Alright, I have so many things to say about this. First of all, what do you mean there's too many games? You're injured every single year. This is how many games he's played as of recent. Yeah, not a lot, right? This man has a salary of $38 million next year, and he's complaining about too many games. Brother, you get a whole winter break for so many months, plus you're injured during the season anyway. You have the suds during the season every year.
Well, Mr. Squarepants, it seems you have the suds. Are you ready for your treatment?
One of Anthony Rendon's former teammates even called him out about this. Jonathan Papelbon was that teammate. The 6-time MLB All-Star had this to say: "I played with Rendon, and Rendon literally hates baseball." Which, by the way, I mean, we've all assumed based off of his past comments on the sport. Papelbon also said, "Yeah, it's long. Isn't that what you signed up for? Just tell the team you want to play half the season and give up half your salary." Which is exactly what we are all thinking. I mean, you're gonna play half the season anyway. Might as well go ahead and ask them to split that salary as well. Rendon is a clear example of someone who's talented, but his heart has never actually been in the thing that he does. Baseball is strictly a job, and there's no fun with him in this sport. He's bad for baseball, and this is exactly what we don't need in the league. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and peace out.